If you're looking for a good front focal plane, low variable power optic for an AR-15 or another rifle like that, and you are on a budget, take a look at this guy. This is the 126 from Monstrum, and this is the Alpha series. What the scope is very similar to Monstrum's G3 line of scopes. However, the biggest difference with these is that it is not going to come with illumination. So let's take a look at the scope. It is going to come with the two caps, one in the front, one in the back. You have a 30mm tube, and you have a 24mm front objective. This scope is a 1-to-6 power, which is actually going to be quite useful. It's going to be very usable, I would say anywhere from up close, let's say 50 to 100 yards, all the way out to, you should be able to do 750 to even possibly 1,000, depending on the size of the targets that you're shooting for. The one thing is that you're going to have to keep in mind with these type of optics is that they are not going to have an adjustable parallax. So most of these optics, the parallax is going to be fixed at 100 yards. So when you start shooting beyond that distance, it's not going to be necessarily in focus. Most of this is going to make a bigger difference is if you're going to be shooting at targets that are going to be way closer. So let's say, for example, something like 25 yards. So you do have, start in the back, you do have a fast focus eyepiece, and what you're using this for is to set the reticle in focus. If you wear glasses or contact lenses, or if you do wear them and then you take them off for a scope, you will need to adjust this, and this should be the first thing that you do because this is what's going to set the actual reticle into focus before you make any other changes. So once you set that, you can put your scope caps back on and move on. So magnification ring is nice and smooth, consistent with the other Monstrum scopes, and these have actually been definitely hitting above their weight range, hitting above our price point. There you go. One of the other nice features is that you do have this shark fin that is integrated into the throw lever, and into the magnification ring, and that's going to act like a really good throw lever for you, making it easier to adjust the scope. You do have your exterior adjustable turret caps. You have your elevation and you have your windage adjustment. Much like with the other Monstrum scopes, they're actually quite nice. This one is definitely tactile, not super audible, but definitely tactile. Same thing for the windage adjustment, and that's going to work. You do have 80 MOA worth of internal elevation adjustment, and you have 80 MOA worth of windage adjustment on the scope. Once again, the front, you have a 24mm objective, which is going to be consistent with these. You do have pretty good image quality with the scope, and the beauty of a power low variable optic is that generally once you have it mounted, you will be able to shoot both eyes open. You do have, as should be expected when you're in one power, there is a little bit of barreling distortion, and that's simply due to the optic. Believe it or not, making a higher magnified optic is almost a little bit easier from an engineering perspective than a low variable power or something like a 1, and why a lot of the cheaper scopes are not going to be a true 1x, they're more like a 1.2 and so forth. Otherwise, on higher magnification, you do have a very usable reticle, and to keep in mind, so this is a front focal plane rifle scope, meaning that as you adjust the magnification on the scope, the reticle is going to get smaller and bigger. The advantage of that is if you're sighting in your shots, or let's say, for example, if you're on 5 power and you see that you're 5 MOA to the left and 2 MOA down, well, you can just dial that adjustment in, and that is it. So that is the Monstrum 1-to-6x24 front focal plane rifle scope, and this is the Alpha series. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.